Hi, my name is Jojo and I like to read. Give a Book, Give Voice is a channel that helps young people learn new vocabulary and listen to interesting stories. The book I'm reading today is Funny Kid for President by Matt Stanton. Chapter 13. Why do they call it a booby trap? Welcome to the class president debate. I've just walked back into the classroom to discover it all set up for a debate. In fact, all the other candidates are already sitting in the front. How did I not know about this? Nice of you to join us, Max. Better late than never, Mr. Armstrong says. Come sit here at the front. The first question is for you. I look quickly at Hugo, who shrugs to say, This is the first I've heard of it, Max. Believe me, I would have told you if I knew it was happening. This is something it would have been really, really good for you to prepare for. He has very expressive shrugs. I walked slowly to the front of the room, feeling more than a little bit anxious. Hugo was right. It would have been helpful to prepare. I'm still feeling rather unnerved by Abby's word games in the library. It's like I've gotten a tiny little Abby Purcell sitting in my brain, and she's even more annoying in miniature. I take a spot in the front next to Layla. When did you find out about this? I whisper to her. Mr. Armstrong told us all about it after your press conference this morning, she replies. He wanted to give us time to prepare, didn't he tell you? I turn and look at Mr. Armstrong. He's glaring at me. Oh, okay, so this is how we're going to play, huh? Bring it on. The first question is for you, Max. He's reading from a sheet of paper. How do you think the science curriculum could be adjusted in the coming weeks so that we could better satisfy the learning outcomes? Gulp, he's smiling at me, almost pleasantly, unless you look at his eyes. They're cold as a grumpy polar bear eating a flavorless ice block in front of a fan while wearing underpants made of frozen peas and humming Do You Want to Build a Snowman? I have no idea how to answer this question. Can I answer that, Mr. Armstrong? Or, of course, it's Abby the Genius Purcell. Certainly, Abby. Max doesn't seem to be able to. Abby smiles and takes a deep breath. I feel like there is an opportunity to conduct more experiments in our science lessons. Experimental learning is important after all. It's the opportunity for us to have fun while still learning things. Something I would propose, should I have the honor of serving as class president, is a paper airplane competition where we work in teams to compete against each other while learning about physics broadly and aerodynamics more specifically. Would everybody like to compete in a paper airplane competition? There's stunned silence, and yes, whoop whoop. Of course they would like to make paper airplanes in science class. Find me the kid who wouldn't like to do that. It also makes Mr. Armstrong happy because she said the words teams and physics in one sentence. The most annoying thing about Abby Purcell is that she actually is a genius. I'm going to need to lift my game. Excuse me, Mr. Armstrong. It's Abby again. Can I ask Max a question, please? Uh-oh. That's not usually within the debate rules, but given Max's unfair attempt to tarnish you in his press conference before school this morning, I'm willing to make an exception. Thank you, Mr. Armstrong. Abby looks over at me as if to say, See, Max, I'd like to know what you can offer as president that none of the rest of us can. I glance at Hugo. He looks panicked. Thanks for the confidence, buddy. The thing is, I don't really know how to answer that. Well, what's the best thing to do when you can't answer a question? Turn it back to the person who asked it. Before I answer that, Abby, perhaps you can tell everyone what you can offer. Sure, that's easy. I'm the smartest. Suddenly I realize what's happening. Abby's trying to end my campaign for president right here in the debate. She's taking the opportunity after the poster disaster and the poop rumors to finish me off right here and now. She continues. This is not the time for playing games, Max. If we're going to stand before these people, and ask for their votes, we need to be honest. I'm the smartest kid in this class, and that's why I should be president. Layla is the fastest kid in the class. She's the best at sports. Ryan is the tallest, and Kevin is the prettiest human being that's ever existed. What are you best at, Max? I'm dead. I have no answer to this question because I'm not the best at anything. It's one of those things that you actually realize about yourself, and you hope that you can get through middle school before anybody works it out. Well, Abby Purcell just worked it out, and she's now announcing it to the whole class. She really is evil. It can't get any worse than this moment, or maybe it can. The end.